an incredible guest with us today, Lindsey Means. Hi, Lindsey.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited because Lindsey has told me she has not watched any of the Dare to Shares yet, so she doesn't know what she's let herself in for, but we do. So before we dive in, Lindsey, I always like to ask everyone who joins, what made you be courageous enough or crazy enough to come and say, I am going to share something super stretchy, super vulnerable for the whole world to see? What was it that made you say, yeah, I'm up for that?
Well, first of all, my sacral, because that's how I live my life. No, anything that you're doing, I'm like, hell freaking yeah. Like I've loved watching your journey, and I've done a little bit of that sort of thing myself, and it's freeing and it's inspiring. And so it was a hell freaking yeah whenever you asked me to do this.
I love that. That's the best answer I've had so far. Thank you. Okay, so Lindsey, what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? Now, she doesn't know what they are. She specifically said, don't tell me what they are. So she's just going with her intuition, as you do with everything. She's like, yeah, let's go.
For it.
Okay, question number 1. What does being a real and a raw leader mean to you? And I don't just mean in business, right? I mean behind the scenes. I mean as a human, as a woman, as an individual in your own right. The realness and the rawness, like what does that really boil down to and look like in your world?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Stripping away all of the fucking masks. Like, that's really what it is. It's who are you behind closed doors and who are you in front of your people? Because we want authenticity. Like we want connection, we want authenticity, we don't want fake shit anymore. And I think that we are like the world and the collective are moving more into raw, real, vulnerable, and really sharing all of the things instead of the highlight reel. Like fuck all of that. Like we don't want to see the highlight reel anymore. We want to see the real. So being a leader in my mind is what are you doing behind closed doors and what are you doing in your business? And if there's a gap with that, you got to fix that gap, because and I'm through the lens of human design, I'm a 6'2", and I know you're 3'6", right? Yeah, and so as line 6s, we lead by example. We are the embodiment of what we teach. I cannot teach anyone anything unless I've gone through it myself and I've embodied it. And so that's how I show up, and that's why I love how you show up, because I'm like, yeah, girl, let's go. With the line 3 and the line 6, and yeah, it's really who are you behind closed doors and who are you in front of people. And if you can't be vulnerable, like vulnerability is so incredibly powerful. Yeah, it's so powerful.
Isn't it? And we're just made to believe that it's weakness. We're made to believe that it's something that we shouldn't show and we shouldn't talk about. And if we do, we're going to lose credibility and authority and clients even. When the new paradigm is exactly like you said, we're done with all this highlight success stories. We want to know how you're doing it behind the scenes. What's really going on behind those masks? I love that.
Hell freaking yeah.
I love it. Okay, so now we go to the main question of the interview, the one that everyone is waiting for. I know you guys are on the edge of your seats. So, because she doesn't know what I'm going to ask. Okay, so there's a prerequisite before we go into that. Lindsey, you have 2 options, okay? So you can choose your vulnerability level of stretchy, which is something that you've overcome, something that you've worked your way through, and yeah, it's hard and it's real and it's raw, but you're over it now. Or you can go extreme, which is something that you're navigating right now, something that you are experiencing right now behind the scenes. Which level would you like to opt for?
Let's go right now.
Yeah, extreme?
Yeah.
She's going extreme. Okay, let's do it. So, the main question, Lindsey Means, what are you willing to dare to share with us all today?
So, I'm in a period where I have been, one would say, potentially struggling with finances, but I choose to call it an interesting season that I'm in. And I am currently, part of my brand is the Empress and becoming the Empress. And I've been preaching this for the last, I channeled this 7 years ago. And I am talking about leading my biz soulmates on the path of the Empress and claiming and stepping into your royal birthright, your royal Empress birthright. I haven't been doing that. And so I am in the process of, I'm actually literally starting today, where I'm sharing this journey of God leaping into the wealth and the abundance and all of the things that I've been calling in for the last 3 fucking years, and money and love. Those are the two things. And so I am sharing my journey with that. I'm sharing inside of my membership, where I'm at financially, what I'm doing, and the steps that I'm taking on this experiment to show, leading by example, and to be hey, this is where I am, and this is where I'm going, and this is how I'm going to get there. But I don't know exactly how I'm going to get there.
We can never know how, right?
Exactly. So I'm taking people on that journey, and a couple of months ago I shared where I was, and financially, I had a couple of people be like, was that a good move? Are people really gonna want to buy, invest in you if you're at $3,000 to your name and $50K in debt and all this stuff? And I'm I don't care, because this is where I'm at.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, no, carry on. No, I feel this.
No, I mean, that's kind of it. I think that it's just being, like you said, being raw and vulnerable and real, and showing people I have been cultivating this for so long, and my guides been Lindsey, the floodgates are opening, and then I'm Manny Jen in human design, so I've been responding to the universe, and I feel this collectively, because I feel for the last 3.5 to 4 years, collectively, a lot of us have been going through shit, and we've been initiated, and we sometimes you have to lose everything in order to find what you really want. And I'm in this Phoenix phase where I've been sitting in the fire, and I'm right about to rise as the Phoenix. I'm taking everyone with me and kind of proving the concept of what I teach.
I love that so much. Yeah, and I resonate with your story so much, because I did exactly the same thing. I made a post about 3 weeks ago that said, I'm making no money in this business at the moment. And I have to tell you, the amount of quote unquote leaders that came into my DMs, but they were actually very supportive. They were wow, I have never seen anyone be that real, be that raw. That is inspiring. That is empowering, because I've been watching how you move. And if you're moving like that while you're making no money, imagine how you're going to move when it's coming in. It's so the sense of liberation, right? When you share those things that are heavy on your heart and you feel kind of shame. I know I certainly felt shame around it. But when you free yourself from that, oh my gosh, just the sense of liberation.
Well, I love that you bring up shame, because I can kind of tie in both of your original questions into this, because if I were to pick option number A, the light, you've already been through it, path, it would have been when my guides told me to share my HSV2 genital herpes story. And I was on this mission to heal this, and I was doing an ice bath, and very clearly my guides were you're gonna share it now. And I was no, I'm gonna share it after I'm already healed. After I've already healed it. And they were nope, you're sharing it now. And so literally the next day I went through this whole shame reclamation process, and I talked about HSV2, I talked about shame around money, I talked about shame around sex, and all of these things. And same sort of scenario, everyone came out of the woodworks. It's oh my God, to share publicly that you have genital herpes is pretty fucking brave. And I will say so myself. But as soon as I got that download, I instantly acted on it, and that's key. And the same sort of feeling happened with the money stuff. And do we really want to share this? No,
I know, I had the same.
the ego, the human, the whatever version of us is really you really want to share this stuff. You want our image is so important to a lot of aspects of ourselves. And so that was the same thing. And so I dipped my toes in with last year when I did that. And so I was like, okay, cool, let's go.
Oh my God. I love this. So Lindsay's given us 2 Dare to Shares. We love it. We're here for it. We're here for it. So Lindsay, okay, let's close it off. And I would love you to tell everyone about the magic that you bring into the world and also where they can find you.
Oh, thank you. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm sure I'll have everything in the show notes. I'm at Lindsey Means with an _ I love connecting with people, and one of my missions is to share human design with as many people as possible. So I always tell people, like, feel free to DM me a screenshot of your chart and I'll give you a little insight. It's such a magical, powerful tool. And I mean, there's many ways to work with me. Essentially, I have 3 branches or buckets to my business, and portals, let's say call them portals, 3 portals to my business. And it's teaching people how to live by their human design, learning how to create alchemy in your life with ceremony and ritual, and then cultivating sacred union within by harmonizing masculine and feminine energies. And so I have online courses, I do one-on-one sessions, I'm launching a membership today. And so yeah, there's multiple ways to co-create with me. And I'm a really big fan of you listening to your body before you buy anything. And so I always love teaching my potential biz soulmates, like, here's how you make the decision, here's how you become confident by using your authority in human design to know if I'm right for you, to know if Claire's right for you, to know if whoever is right for you, because we have to start listening to our body. We have to get out of our head and into our body. So that we can live the life of our wildest freaking dreams.
So beautiful. And for all of you guys watching, I've worked with Lindsay. She's been in my world for, gosh, nearly 2 years now. Where has the time gone? But she is an absolutely incredible coach, woman, mentor, spiritual guru, just all of the things. So make sure you go and get in her world. And until next time, remember, vulnerability is your superpower. The more real, the more raw you are, the more your audience connect with you on that human level. So until next time, let's see who dares to share tomorrow. Bye, everyone.